A couple people here. Hi Radium. Hey Porteruvian. Thanks for the like. How you guys doing? I said I wasn't going to stream tonight because my dinner that I'm making is super easy, but I might be addicted to streaming. So I thought that I'd just sort of oh, Radium, I'm cooking fish. I should have tagged you, actually. I know, I just sort of, you know, I was just going to start prepping dinner, and I was like, I might as well stream this. I don't know why. I guess because I'm addicted to streaming. But Radium, you were asking about fish. So yes, we're going to be cooking fish. Dr. Reddington, thanks for the like and the retweet. So I'm just making a really simple dinner tonight. It's not going to be a longer stream like it was before, partly because there's also just not that much to do with this meal. Just making a really nice fish I'm going to put under the broiler. And I'm also going to make some basic sauteed vegetables and maybe like a roasted tomato I was thinking too. I love roasted tomato. Hey Dr. Reddington, how are you? So to start off with, I'm going to get my tomato in the oven. I'm preheating my oven to 425. And I just need to get out a dish here. So this is going to be for my tomato, just tiny one, and this is going to be for my salmon. And I have a pan for sauteing some vegetables. So my vegetables are going to go in at 420, or my tomatoes are going to go in at 425. And then after those are done, I'm just going to like put the rack. Right now the rack is on the middle row. I'm going to put the rack on the top row and then just broil my fish. I'm glad you're doing well, Dr. Reddington. Let's see. Hey, it's Murray. Murray, I haven't had a chance to email you yet. I will though. It's on my list of things I want. Happy Ramadan, I think is what you're saying, TV Jad or TV Jad. Happy Ramadan to you. Is it Ramadan right now? I think so. Meatpack. Ah, it's Meatpack. Hey, Libby. Hey, Meatpack. Murray, I see you. Thanks for the like. Meatpack, thanks for the like. And retweet Murray. Thanks so much. Dr. Reddington, I'm glad you're doing well. And CD3 Music, thanks for the like. Let's put this back. And I'm going to get out. So for vegetables, tomorrow I'm having roasted beet salad. I just found this in the fridge. Tomorrow on my meal plan, it says just chicken. And I'm actually going to have roasted beet salad. Maybe some chicken also, but probably just roasted beet salad. Maybe I'll stream that tomorrow. I don't know yet. Apparently I'm addicted, so my my sauteed vegetables, I'm gonna have a zucchini and some purple onion and some garlic and some kale. Sorry, I'm rummaging. And I'm going to roast a tomato also. So I'm going to get my tomato in first. And then we'll get everything else going. So my hands, I'm just going to give them a good wash. Murray, no worries whenever. Yeah. No, that's definitely on my, I sort of woke up and I was like, oh, I'm going to email Murray today. But I just sort of, you know, the day got going and then all of a sudden it's time to cook dinner. So anyways, it's on my list of things to do. And yes, Ramadan starting today, Dr. Reddington. It's funny. I've never experienced. I've had friends, obviously, that celebrate Ramadan, but I've never actually experienced it. Davin, though, was actually in Morocco during Ramadan. It's very dark. I have a light unplugged there. I'm just trying to see. It's a little better there. I'm using a little bit of a different thing. Let me see if I can do this. Nope, that's not any better. Oh, but you can see my cutting board. Could you see the cutting board before, I wonder? Oh yeah, no, you can still see the cutting board. Okay. Maybe you can see the cutting board better the other way. Sorry. David was actually in Morocco during Ramadan a couple years ago, and he thought, oh, I'll put this right. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Okay. He was in Ramadan a couple years ago, or my goodness, he was in Morocco during Ramadan a couple years ago, and he thought that it was really interesting because the streets were just as busy during be, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. as they were during the day. And I think that that's probably because people might maybe shift their behavior a little bit so that, they can take advantage of not eating during those daylight hours. Is this really live? I know, it actually is. And EBC King, I'm totally with you. This is as crazy to me as it is to you. Yes, this is live. You're in my kitchen right now. I'm making dinner right now. And hey, look, it's London Lady. Hiya, I had salmon for dinner too. Nice, London Lady. How did you cook your salmon? We're gonna broil the salmon here today. Sorry, I'm using a different thing, so let me get something to lift this up. My normal stand that I used for my iPad in the kitchen, I put some stuff in it and I didn't really want to take that stuff out, so I'm just, but at this point it would have been faster to just take the stuff out. I was just trying to save some time and that didn't really work with it. Missed a couple likes. Thanks for the like, NP Ren and London Lady, and thanks for the like and retweet. Always appreciate you stopping by. During the daytime, they're not allowed to eat. I think that they're not allowed to drink as well. If anybody knows, let me know. I know definitely no eating, but drinking I think as well. This I haven't changed in a couple days. So, new hand towels. So I'm gonna go ahead. I just finished washing my tomato. NPRN, thanks for the retweet. And Sutener, thanks for the like. London Lady, frustrating. My audio is failing. Meerkat has been poo this week. You know what? I was trying to watch a couple streams the other day, and it kept dropping the streams, and I just feel so bad for the streamers. Now, these are some really great beefcake, or what are they called? Not beefcake. Beef something tomatoes is what they're called here in Canada, anyways. And they're these really big guys, and I love roasting these. I mean, they're good in a salad too. But why I like roasting them is if you cut them in half, you get two perfect little things like this that you can just sort of throw in your baking dish, like I'm doing. And I'm gonna just put some salt and pepper on this. Phoenix, thanks for the light. MPR, I'm hungry hippo. I used to love playing that game. Dutch Bear, thanks for the retweet. Yeah, and I feel so bad for streamers when that happens because, I mean, someone will go from having so many people in the room and part of the conversation, and then by the time they, people actually log back in, they only have a couple people there. Not all the time, obviously, but it's just too bad. But at the same time, I get it. It's a new platform, and it's going to take some time to work out the kinks. So on here, if you want to put some olive oil, that would be really yummy too. I'm not going to. Just why add the extra fat for this? I don't think that I'd really notice the difference. The only olive oil I would add on this, for people who've been sort of hanging out and cooking with me, is my fancy olive oil that I was given. So I would sorry, I keep ducking down to get some light on my face. I'll try and figure out the lighting for next time. I would add maybe the fancy olive oil just because I've got that stuff with the nice garlic. Actually, I'm going to do it. I'm going to add that olive oil. So, I wasn't going to, just because at the end of the day, I mean, it's added fat. We're not having a very high fat meal to begin with, but I don't know. I was being a little picky there for a moment. And but the main reason that I wasn't going to is that I don't really think that olive oil would add much flavor to this. However, when you have the fancy olive oil like I do, garlic, and this is the olive oil that's given to me, EEVO, this actually will add a nice flavor. This is a really beautiful olive oil. So I'm just going to drizzle just a tiny bit of this on. I always put too much on by accident, so I'm going to try very carefully to not put too much, and just enough to give it flavor. That's good. Same with this one. Yeah, just drizzle just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to take my little brush, you can use a spoon or whatever, just brush it around. And then that'll actually be very yummy. There. And then I'm going to put some black pepper on this. Radium, you're so smart. Beefsteak. That's exactly what they're called, beefsteak. Dr. Reddington, there are a few exceptions during Ramadan, right? Yeah. Yeah, so maybe water might be one. Hello, Anarchy. Thanks for the like. Led Drever, speak French. Ha ha. My fiance speaks beautiful French, so if he was here, he would just absolutely love you. But my French is atrocious, and I can really barely speak it, actually. Radium, yeah, beefsteak. Okay, producer. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the like. And NPR, best cooking session ever. Thanks. I do a couple of them, and they're always sort of fly by the seat of my pants. Hello Anarchy, thanks for the retweet. And NPR, Jihad, oh yeah, has nothing on you. Oh, that's so sweet, thank you. I don't really watch cooking shows anymore, but I used to. So I use more pepper than most people do. I put that much on. But I also really like pepper, so just, you know, whatever you like. And then I'm gonna put some basil in there. If I had some fresh basil, ooh, that would be really yummy. I just don't have any, so I'm just gonna use dry basil. Dun. And if I wasn't putting feta cheese on top of this, I would also put a little bit of salt. However, because the feta has a naturally salty flavor from the brine that it sits in, this you don't need any. So I'm just gonna cut a little bit of feta. And I just die for feta. I love feta. So I'm gonna take a piece like that, like maybe 1 inch by 2.5 inches. Fresh or previously frozen salmon. This is fresh. I'm a bit of a salmon snob, so I've said quite a few times on my cooking streams how I'm not a picky eater. Salmon is actually one of the few exceptions where I really, really, really love great salmon. So I'm from the West Coast. I'm from Vancouver and the Okanagan of British Columbia. Originally, I now live in Toronto, but on that West Coast, we're just spoiled with really beautiful salmon. And just as far as heritage goes, I'm First Nations on my mom's side, so my grandma's full First Nations, and we sort of grew up having fresh salmon caught for us, like my sister and I. So, like, salmon is one of the few things that I'm kind of a little bit snobby on. I do buy the previously frozen salmon portions and fish portions. So like if there's a tilapia or I never say that right. Anyways, like if there's a whitefish, sometimes I'll buy those. I'll just keep them in the freezer just because you never know when you just want that extra protein portion. Okay, there we go. I just crumbled that on. But I never enjoy it. I eat it just because, you know, sometimes you gotta eat, but I never enjoy it. So salmon and fish, I guess in general, but salmon especially is one of those things that I really appreciate when I get good stuff. And on top of that, in Toronto, I'm just gonna put these right in the oven. So that's what they look like. I don't want them to fall. So we put on our fancy garlic olive oil, and we also put on some fresh cracked black pepper, as well as some dried basil and some feta. And these are gonna go in the oven. It hasn't quite finished preheating yet, but that's fine. I don't mind. So it's 390 right now. I set it for 425. And then NPR. I think we all agree we'd watch you boil water. Oh, that's sweet. Thanks for the support. Now, I'm going to take, okay, so here's the thing. I just started saying, in Toronto, you can't find West Coast salmon anywhere. It's all Atlantic salmon. And I'm not a fan. I've come to be okay with it. It has, I guess, more of a buttery texture than the nice, like, pink, red West Coast salmon that I'm used to. I think it's called Pacific salmon versus Atlantic salmon. And Atlantic salmon is often farmed. So what I get in my grocery store, and I've tried a couple different places, there are certain places I can go for like wild salmon, except they're just far and few between. And it always means that extra stop that I just don't have time for. So I just always end up getting this Atlantic, probably farmed salmon, which I'm never happy with, but I mean, it's fine. I always like to wash my salmon, so I'm just taking it out of the package here. I always like to wash it. Some people say you don't need to. I just like to wash all of my meat, and I think especially fish, just because it kind of has that smell, even if it's fresh. The producer, I see you got a stereo back, or is it TV? Do you mean the sound? Were you having trouble with my sound earlier, the producer? So I'm just running my salmon under some water here. Now some people like to take either Pam or olive oil so that their skin doesn't stick to the bottom of their pan. I don't like the skin, so I actually like it that my skin sticks to the bottom of my pan. I like the, if you've had salmon before, and I think a lot of people have, it's not really like that unusual. But you'll know that salmon has like this nice pink layer, and then it has the skin layer, and then in between, when it's cooked, in between the pink and the skin layer is sort of like a gray layer. That's the fatty part. There's other like this is all fatty parts too, right? But like that's sort of like a you know, connector in between the skin and the flesh. I really love that part. That's my favorite part of the salmon, but I don't like the skin. So when, that's just my oven telling me that it's preheated for my tomato, which we already put in. So I don't ever oil my pan when I'm cooking salmon because I like the skin to stick to the bottom of it. And then I find it's just a lot easier to use my spatula and scoop out the flesh. And then I also like to, you know, make sure I scrape out that nice gray part. It's my favorite. So now that's washed, I'm going to give my hands a wash. No, behind you. Just trying to see what you're looking at. Are you looking at that thing against, one sec, I'll point to this a sec. I don't really think I even have a stereo. It might be the TV you're seeing. That's the TV, like if you can see that, that's the TV, and a couple PS like 3 and 4 and stuff like that. David used to really like video games. He's kind of cut back on the video games lately, but he used to really like them. We used to play them together, actually. We played like all of the Assassin's Creed, including, I think, is it Revelation? No, not Revelation, just, what's the one in Paris? We played all of those. So anyways, producer, that's a TV over there. That's a bookshelf over there. Over there, and it has my orchid on it that is unfortunately dying, and my hair is really, it's humid here, so my hair always goes frizzy. Do you like sashimi? I love sashimi, especially coming from Vancouver. We've got some, again, really great fresh fish there. I'm sure you can get fresh fish this day and age anywhere, but it's just very popular there. I really like sashimi. Majid, how's it going? Ramadan Kareem to you, Libby, and everyone here. Happy Ramadan to you too, Majid. And thanks for the like and the retweet, Majid. Okay, so here's my salmon. I'm just going to prep this right now, and it's going to be really super simple. I'm going to use just some dill and some dried dill. I was going to use regular olive oil, and then also just a maybe dice up some garlic. But because we just used my fancy olive oil, I'm going to use this again. So I'm going to use this. You really don't need to add this, but I find that when I'm broiling fish like I am today, I kind of like the, again, I hate olive oil. I always use way too much. I actually did a good job with the tomatoes. This time I just put way too much on it. So I'm just taking my little brush again that we just used on the tomatoes. I'm just going to brush that olive oil in there. I really like when I'm broiling fish. It just gives it that nice crispy texture on top, and I really like that. So I use way too much olive oil, but that's okay because a lot of it's just going to go to the bottom, and I'm not going to eat it anyways. So just lightly brush it on top. Okay. And then salt, which is your stuff. And I'm not a big fan of added salt. Producer, thanks so much for the retweet, producer. I'm not a big fan of added salt, but I like it on fish. So, a couple shakes of that. And it looked like I was putting a lot on. It's just because this is a grated, like a turny salt thing. I just like shake, like nothing's coming out right now. I'm just shaking out the extra. So I'm actually not putting a lot of salt on, just a couple turns. Same thing with pepper. Again, I like a lot of pepper. And again, nothing's coming out now. I'm just sort of shaking off the excess. You know, I'm going to put a little bit of chili pepper on, or not chili, but cayenne pepper on this too. Just give it a little bit of a kick. I really like cayenne on salmon. And whenever I use cayenne, guaranteed, I'll put a little bit, until I put too much. And then it's just not it's not fun to eat anymore. And so whenever I use this, I put it in my hand first and I sort of sprinkle. And, Emil, you are cooking still. Are you cooking still? Well, I just started cooking. I'm cooking still as far as, I still have to cook for David and I. But I just started cooking today, Emil. Okay, so you can just see I'm sprinkling just a very little bit, like just enough to give it a bit of a kick and just sort of up that flavor. Now, if I had any lemon left over, I would absolutely be putting lemon on this. I use the last of the lemon in the roasted cauliflower I made, so that is just gonna, I don't like to waste stuff, so, but I mean, for me, that's an acceptable waste. Especially because you get so much cayenne pepper, and I do use cayenne pepper quite often, but it just feels like that thing that I always have and I never have to buy. And, Emil, hi Emil. Emil, did you just say hi to yourself? Are you kooky? And the producer's here, and he sent me a really great link. He's got some really cool music, if anybody sees him. Apparently, he does streams. Producer, I haven't seen any of your streams yet, just because I haven't really. I was on Meerkat this morning to see my lattes with Libby in the morning for a little bit that I like. But besides that, I haven't really been on to watch. I just haven't had time today. Where is oh my goodness. Sorry, I have to see this. Sorry, Murray, are you still here? Murray, I'm scraping my cutting board. After you left yesterday, Murray was after me yesterday to not scrape the cutting board because it dulls a knife, and I know that it dulls a knife. I actually, like, my mom used to yell at me for that, which is funny that he said that. And I've also got a really great knife that happens to be dull right now because I do things like that. But anyways, Marie, after you left yesterday, the cooking, our cooking episode, I just started noticing every time I scraped it, and it was just like, grating on my ears. And so I tried to wipe it off with my hand, and I was like, oh, it's just not as good, though. I really just love that sharp edge of the knife, like that. Let's see. Iron Man. Hey, Iron Man, how's it going? Thanks so much for the like and the retweet. And producer, do not really like fishy things. Some people definitely don't. David doesn't like prawns or mussels. I love seafood. I love prawns and mussels. So anyways, whenever we go out to dinner, we don't eat out very often. But when we do eat out, I almost always get like a prawn dish or a mussel dish or something like that, just because I'll never make it at home because he just doesn't like it. So he's with you, but he doesn't mind fish though. Maxine, hello to you. Oh, Emil, you're so funny. So you said, Emil, you're hilarious. So you said, are you still cooking? And I forgot to say hi to you. So you were saying, Libby, hello, Emil. Hi, Emil. You're so funny. Maxine, thanks so much for the like. Okay. So I've got this. Again, if I had lemon, I would love to put lemon on this. I just used the rest of my lemon in my roasted cauliflower yesterday. I don't have any. So it's not the end of the world. Now I'm just sprinkling some dill on top of it. Like that. And then, you know what I'm thinking? Because I don't have lemon, and it's fine. I've definitely had salmon without lemon before, and it's definitely fine. I'm just wondering if like an apple cider vinegar would be like that nice acidic complement to this. I'm gonna try and put some apple cider vinegar on this. I've never had apple cider vinegar on salmon before. What do you guys think? Apple cider vinegar? Yay? Nay? I'm going to get it out anyways. I'm not putting the salmon in the oven yet, so. Now normally with apple cider vinegar, I really like the raw stuff. It's one of those few things that I splurge on. I splurge on a couple things. Paper towel is one of it. I almost always get Bounty paper towel, even though it's more expensive. I just find the non-name brand rips apart like crazy. And apple cider vinegar is another one of those things. I do like the raw apple cider vinegar that's not so clear and it has like a sediment at the bottom. Just because I'll make my own salad dressings, and sometimes my salad dressing will be only apple cider vinegar. So I do like good stuff. But this was given to me along with my fancy olive oil from my friends that moved and didn't want to take a lot of their liquids with them, so I'm using it up. Let's see. The producer, thanks for the shout out regarding my lounge music. Yeah, you guys check them out. It's awesome. Emil, peace, thumbs up to you too, Emil. And Lil Christo, thanks for the like. Emil, play some music between you cooking. Producer, send me some music. I'll put it on in the background. And that's a great idea, Emil. So, this is already used. My sink's always clean. If I put something in the sink, I sort of like to give it a quick rinse. So I'm not going to use this yet. If anybody has strong feelings that this should not be used, tell me. Otherwise, I'm going to use it. Or if you have strong feelings that it should be used, also tell me. I'm not putting it in quite yet, so I'm going to just put this over here. Normally, all of my liquids I like to put on before I start putting my spices on, because look at the beautiful distribution of spices I have. That's my dill, that's my my pepper, my salt, my cayenne pepper. So like everything looks so beautifully distributed right now. Now when I put the apple cider vinegar on, I'm totally going to mess with that. So what I'm going to do is try and brush it on gently. That's why I put the olive oil on first. Just what I do. I'm a little anal that way. I find that there's certain things that I'm totally like, who cares about, and other things that I'm totally like, it must be done this way or else I will not enjoy it. Guess that's my prerogative. So now for vegetables, I'm just going to saute up some kale. And this kale is on its last legs. You can see like when it starts to turn yellow like that, that is not good kale. This kale is wanted to be made into dinner or lunch or something, anything, for quite a while, and I just haven't. So that's obviously not going to be, we're not going to eat that. The rest of it, like this leaf here isn't very good. I'm just going to try and salvage what I can. The rest of that looks pretty good though, so not too much of a loss. Could you eat the salmon raw, or does it need to be really fresh? You know, I've never done that. I know that you can get sashimi grade fish. I believe you should probably go to your butcher though for that. I've never made sashimi. I've made sushi rolls before, like the maki rolls, the California, and like I put tuna in there and prawns and imitation crab. So things that aren't too dicey. I've never actually made sashimi before. However, I know that you can make it. You should probably go to your fishmonger though and ask for sashimi grade. So I'm just giving my zucchini a wash. And I'm going to start my pan. I'm going to put it on medium high, somewhere in that range. Tim, thanks so much for the like, Tim. Producer, fact, plain, slow, beautiful, classical, lounge, etc. music while eating. That's funny. Got to go sleeping. Libby, see you next time. Dr. Rainton, have a wonderful sleep, and we'll see you next time as always. Air OS, strange white walls in us. Yeah, we moved into this place furnished, and it just sort of came like this. It's funny you say the white walls. I don't mind it at all. The people who, the landlords here, they actually mentioned the white walls, and like, oh, we really want to paint. And I was like, really, it's okay. I don't know if that's what you were saying, but just on that note. Producer tricks your brain into thinking that the meal tastes more luxurious. I believe that. Educated palate. Sorry to miss some. How are you preparing the salmon? I'll get right to that, educated palate. An educated palate, maybe you could educate our palates if there's anything you think. I sort of cook by the seat of my pants. So you might be able to throw some of your own tips in. And S. Ruzim, thanks for the like and the retweet. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Educated palate, or thanks for the like and the retweet. And Emil, It seemed men like more than girls cooking. It seems like it seemed men like more than girls cooking. Maybe you're saying there's more guys here than there are girls? Come on, ladies, come watch. Let's cook together, if that's what you're saying. SR Ruzim. Hi. New here. Hello, SR Ruzim. And if you have a name, let me know. I'll say it instead of butchering your handle there. Welcome to my little stream, cooking dinner, and also welcome to Meerkat. Pablo Churchy, thanks so much for the like and retweet. Producer, good night, Libby. Hope to see a follow soon. Have I not followed you, the producer? Let me take care of that right now. I'm sorry. I thought I did. Follow. Ta-da! There you go. You saw it right now. Com.tola. First time here. Why you? Oh, why? Thank you. Thank you very much. Com.tola. Thanks so much for the like and the retweet as well. Compliments and likes and retweets. Can't go wrong there. Denise, hello from Brazil. Hi, Denise. Nice to see you. And Emil, that is what you're saying. Okay, gotcha, Emil. And then my name is Sam. Okay, Sam, thanks so much. Now I can say your name. Welcome, Sam. And Azert, yeah. J'aime pas faire à bouffer. I'm sorry, I always butcher French. You don't like, I don't know what buffet means. Sorry, Azert, yeah. Sam, what are you cooking, Libby? And little homie, how's it going, little homie? Thanks for the like and the retweet, little homie. Okay, so educated palate, and to everybody just joining me, I'm making salmon, a really simple dinner. Roasted tomatoes are in the oven right now. I'm also making a really basic salmon and some sauteed vegetables. So the salmon I'm cooking, I drizzled it in some fancy olive oil, garlic infused, put on some pepper, salt, dill, all dried, like dried dill, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. I'm contemplating, I don't have any lemon, I'd like to squeeze some lemon juice on this. I'm contemplating whether to brush it with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just because I don't have lemon, just to give it maybe that little fresh taste. If anybody has any strong feelings, one way or another, let me know. This is going to be broiled after my tomatoes have cooked a little bit. And now I'm going to get going on cutting up some vegetables to saute. So I always typically cook with Spanish onions, with these red onions. This is another one of my splurges. I don't have many splurges, but my onions are splurges. They're about 3 times the price of white onions. But because I eat them so often and I really like onions, it's one of those things I'm just like, I'll pay the extra amount. For me, it's worth it. But that being said, I do cut back on other areas. Denise, thanks so much for the like. And Sam, and hi all the way from Los Angeles. Wow. So it is 4:08 your time, Sam, I'm guessing. It's 7:08 here on the East Coast. Emil, where are you streaming from? I'm streaming from Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. So, and when I cook, I always keep a little garbage bin like this, just because I find it's a lot easier than like having to reach underneath all the time. And because I like to move fairly quickly when I'm cooking. So I know that in my streams I haven't moved quickly because I'm kind of often preoccupied. And with onions, just for people who don't know, you kind of just take the first couple layers off. If there's one part that's clearly good, and sometimes the back is bad, I'll cut it. I could have probably done that here. I might do that if this next layer still isn't good, but I'll just take this off. There we go. Now for this, I'm going to put this whole onion in. So we're going to have this whole onion for dinner. Sam says, there's actually more women here in America cooking and chefs more than men. Oh, no kidding. You actually haven't tuned into anybody else's cooking streams. I would love to. Does anybody have any recommendations for cooking streams for me to tune into? And Young, or Unique. Oh, cool handle, Unique. Hi, Libby. Greetings from Portugal. Hey, how's it going? David, my fiance, and I were in Portugal 3 years ago. We were in, goodness. So for my onion, I just cut it in half. I cut it 1, 2, like that, and then right down the middle. And so this is very similar to how I cut the onions for my nice roast garlic the other day. So see, it comes into a little triangle like that. That's sort of a core. I could probably cut that out. If I was fussed about it, I'm not, but if you don't like it. And And then what's nice is that it separates really nicely, right? Like as this cooks, this will separate really nice. You know, I am going to cut that core out. This will separate really nicely and just give me sort of a really beautiful little thing. Now, when I saute, my pan on getting hot. I'm just going to cool my pan down a little bit because I sort of left it on while I was talking. When I saute my vegetables, what I actually do to avoid putting so much like added fat in it is I saute them in water until they're practically cooked, and then at the very end I just add a drizzle of olive oil. I also don't like to heat up my olive oil excessively, so sort of when I'm ready to turn the heat down, I'll put my olive oil in, and I just find it cooks really nicely that way. Let's see. Here it is night, Emil. In LA? Are you sure? Mitch, hello from Caracas. Oh, cool. Welcome, Mitch. Hello, Anarchy. Greetings from Denmark. Hello. So nice to have you here. Emil is saying hi. What's up? Sorry, this is just David giving me an update on when he's going to be home, which is apparently not anytime soon. Sorry, just a moment. Denmark, Emil saying, what's up to Kienfustra? And it's Timmy Cohen. How you doing, Timmy Cohen? Thanks for the like and the retweet. Johnny Tidwell. Johnny? Should I call you John or Johnny? Thanks for the like and the retweet, John. MJ Honest, thanks for the like. Timmy, hey, Libby, hey, Timmy. The Heart PTHC. Wow, so sexy. Wow, back to you, Heart. Sam, I like it clean cooking and at daytime right now here in LA. Yes. Sorry, Sam, was that you that said you're from LA or was it Emil? I might have got it mixed up and was giving Emil a hard time. No, Sam. Sorry, Emil. I'm sorry, Emil. I was giving you a hard time over nothing. Sam is from LA. Emil, you are from, let's see what you say, my dear. It is night. Okay, Emil, where are you from? And I'm sorry for giving you a hard time for that. Let's get back here. And Emil says, hi, big smiley face, little homie. Lisa Dixon dose cooking too, but is a vegetarian. Nice. I've actually seen some of her streams. I think that she's really cool. I'll check her out. Thanks, little homie. And I just finished being a vegetarian. I was a self-imposed vegetarian because my budget got out of hand, so I had to rein it in a little bit, and I cut out meat for a couple weeks. And I was actually surprised at how little I missed it. And Emil is saying goodbye to Eric. And Timmy, I'm good. How are you, Libby? I'm doing well. And Emil, you're in Sweden. Okay, because you're ahead of us. That makes so much sense, Emil. Yeah, I was actually surprised how little I missed meat. Just because I got really creative with some vegetarian cooking, which was really fun. Now, on top of that, I'm also an animal lover, so, I mean, I've said this a couple times, but it's getting harder and harder to square my love of animals with also eating them, so. So, instead of putting oil in my pan to saute, I just start with a little bit of water. So that's, say, 2 tablespoons worth. Like that. Put it back over my medium heat. I'm just going to let that heat up just a little bit before I put my onion in. Hi there, did you start cooking? Says Bill. Florida here. Hey, Bill. Are you on the same time zone as me? Are you Eastern Standard in Florida? I've never actually been to Florida. I've flown through. I flew to Miami to fly on to Riviera Maya. I think. Does that make sense? No, I have not. No, sorry, I'm lying. I flew straight to Cancun. I was thinking of something else. I would love to go to Florida though. They even did a bachelor party there a little while ago. He said he really liked it. He didn't expect to like it, but he really liked it. It's sort of a Miami Beach type area, right? And yes, Bill, I'll tell you what I'm cooking in just a sec. And Alan, thanks so much for the like, Alan. Sam, give us a look at the action. I want to see the food. Okay, Libby, stop talking. Get on with the cooking. And Bill, yes, Eastern Standard Time. So, what I have here is my Spanish onions. I chopped them up real nice so that they're sort of even, and they're going to come apart really nicely too. Now I have my water going over here. Instead of oil, I'm using just some water, and I like to do that. It just sort of reduces the overall fat content. What I find with sauteing, when you use like an olive oil or butter or something like that, is that you put some in to start cooking, and then you have to add some more as you cook. So, I mean, this just cooks it in water to start out with, and then to add a little bit of crisp at the end, to add a little bit of flavor, I'll throw in some olive oil. And Bill is, I'm from Miami, cool. And Emil, show around. Here, why not? This is my salmon that we're making. It's going to be broiled, and it has a nice fancy garlic infused olive oil drizzle on it first, and then it has some cracked black pepper, some sea salt, and dried dill, as well as a little bit of cayenne pepper. And that's a puzzle that has not been completed in a very long time. It's a puzzle of the map of Paris. And in here we have our roasted tomatoes. So those are coming along nicely. And those have a drizzle of that same fancy olive oil, as well as some feta, some pepper, and some dry basil. So now I'm going to saute some zucchini. Hamodi, thanks for the like, and Kassam, thanks also for the like, and Sam, yay, salmon, yeah. So you wanted to see the salmon, I guess. These are my favorite. Every house I live in, I have to have some of these. I use these for everything. So now, as it needs more water, I just sort of add it. Because the water will evaporate as you're cooking. Bear with me, I'm just going to tie my hair back. I'm just going to go get a hair tie. When you have long hair and you're cooking, it's not always the best mix. So, just tie it back. There. But you still want it to look cute. I like cat puzzles, says Spencer. Spencer, that's your contribution? Oh my god, that's so funny. Spencer, that's cute. Thanks for saying that. I like most things cats. I watched, so David last night, he was on a couch right there, and we were sort of just getting ready for bed. And he was brushing his teeth, and I was in the other room, and all of a sudden I hear this yelling. And because he has this mouthful of toothpaste, I can't really understand what he's saying. And it actually worried me because he was yelling a lot. And so I come into the other room, and David, what's wrong? And he was like, and I was like, what? And he's like, what's wrong with cats? And I was like, what do you mean what's wrong with cats? And he's watching all of these like crazy cat videos on YouTube, and he's getting so mad. I'm just going to take this off because I'm talking way too much. And he's getting mad at these cats because they're doing these, like, what cats do on YouTube. And he's like, these cats just make life so difficult for themselves. Why do they make life so difficult? Because they're, like, getting into things and climbing things and falling down. I was like, I don't know. Like, they're cats. He wasn't raised with pets. Let's see. But Spencer. So anyway, Spencer, everybody likes cats. My sister was like a cataholic. She loved them. Bill, smiley face, little homie. You have a nice place. Thank you. I like having a nice home. It makes me feel good. Awen, good morning again. Hey Awen, how's it going? Wonder Woman, exclamation mark, you're so sweet always. Just got home from water polo intervals and my girlfriend luckily is coming over to help cook. Oh, that's so nice because I'm completely exhausted. That's nice. I remember you were going to water polo earlier, Awen, so I'm glad that you had fun and you got a good workout in, it sounds like. Awen, thanks for the like and the retweet, and Blue, thanks for the like. So now with my zucchini, so I took this off the heat just because it was starting to cook faster and I wanted everything to sort of cook at the same time. So with this, I'm going to cut them into little half moon pieces, meaning it's long, I'm going to cut it in half and then I'm just going to slice. And I'm going to put, oh, I started cutting somewhere, where is it? Maybe I didn't, nope. I'm going to put the zucchini in first. So when I'm sauteing, I like to put my onions in first, and it makes a really nice base of flavors to put the rest of it in. So I cut it in half like that, you can see, and I'm just going to go cut, and then they're going to be these little half moons, right? Zucchini is going to cook faster than the kale that I'm going to put in also. So I'm going to get the zucchini in with the onion right away. See, nice little half moons. Those are going to look so good on my plate. I also like, I'm not artistic, so for me, I like to make food sort of my art. So when I'm making, like putting a plate together, I like to make it look pretty. Not at the expense of like wasting stuff. For example, I won't use lettuce as a bed for something just to improve the presentation of it. Unless I plan on eating the lettuce. Now, if that's on my plate, I absolutely will eat the lettuce. If it's on Davin's plate, he'll just leave the lettuce, and he'll be like, that's garnish, I don't have to eat that. So, I don't do that. Okay, so I've cut these up. Now, I've sort of just filled this little cup. I was drinking some water out of this cup earlier. If I was cooking for people other than Davin and myself, I wouldn't use a cup I was drinking water out of earlier to put water in my pan, but it's for me and Davin, it's fine. So I'm just going to keep adding water to this just as the water evaporates. I'm cooking on medium high. I'm just going to turn it down just slightly. And add the rest of my zucchini. Let this stuff cook. Okay, I'm going to wash this. Kassam, thanks so much for the retweet, Kassam. And Unique, Pepino. What's Pepino? Tell me. And then I can answer that question mark, hopefully. Anyway, my girlfriend has a cat, too. We like each other. I'll admit, I spoil her with treats. Cats are so easy to spoil because they just act like they deserve to be spoiled. It's the thing about cats. Go Blue Jays. Fabio flying. Yeah, they just broke their, almost hit 11 wins in a row, right? That was a sad game. David and I were watching that game. Sam, Kale. You have had kale chips. It tastes amazing. I actually have made kale chips before, and they're gone in like a day or so. Go Blue Jays. Hey, everyone's saying, are the Blue Jays playing right now? Is that why everyone's saying that? Sam, I found you on Twitter and followed you there, and here in Meerkat. Thanks, Sam. I'll follow you back. And if anybody else wants to follow me, either here or on Twitter or on Instagram, I'll definitely follow back. And if for some reason I've missed following you back, just send me a quick message and I'm happy to follow you back. I like to keep in contact that way. Anyway, I called my girlfriend to stop by the deli and get a roasted chicken and a lot of veggies. Oh my god, that's gonna be such a good meal. Anyway, that sounds good. Life is good, totally. I roasted chicken. Oh, on that. For those of you that were here with me last week when we roasted a chicken, and then I got to eat chicken meat all week. And then I made chicken broth earlier this week. Here, I'll show you the end result of that. I don't know if anybody was here, but if you are, and if not, it's just interesting, I guess, maybe. So these are my little chicken broth cubes that I made. And I made these by reducing like chicken broth from a roasted chicken and putting it in little cubes in the freezer. And now next time I make rice or anything, actually, let's put some chicken broth in this. What a good idea. Eowyn, you reminded me to think about things. So I'm going to put some in at the end of this. But anyways, this is really good. Little, you know, things that boost your flavor. So I'm going to wash this kale. Some people don't eat this part. Actually, now that I just said that, I need to get this in there really quick so the stem can cook, because it'll take a little bit longer than the leaves. Anyway, some people don't eat that part. I like it. I think it tastes like broccoli. So I'm just going to wash this really quick. Get the stem in there. Unique. Pepino is the name of that vegetable in my country. Oh, no kidding. What is it like? I am happy that... Oops. Unique, tell me a little bit more about pepino. It sounds yummy. I might know what it is. Sometimes we just call things different names. I'm happy that I found you here on Meerkat. I like cooking. Good, Sam. I look forward to seeing you lots then. Eowyn, chicken broth cubes. You're awesome. Yeah, thanks. That's nice. Mekis. Thanks for the retweet and the like, Mekis. And Sam, that's a smart idea. Gonna steal that. Totally. And it's not stealing at all. We're sharing. Ah, pepino's a cucumber. Okay, I love cucumber. Oh my goodness, I love cucumber. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna like. Just that end is kind of dry. I'm just going to get rid of that. But the rest of this I'm just going to throw in there. Keep adding water as these are cooking. And the water also picks up the brown parts as these cook, the sort of parts where it gets cooked to the bottom of the pan. And it makes it actually quite flavorful without needing to add any olive oil at this point. I just don't notice a difference. And I mean, it might be that I'm not like a really, I don't have as educated palate here. I don't have an educated palate. I've been told that my food tastes good. David likes it sometimes. Sometimes it's too healthy for him. He'd rather I just cook like hamburgers, which I totally cook hamburgers sometimes. But he'd just rather I cook like hamburgers and pizza all the time. And sometimes I try to like change recipes, and he's just like, oh my god, don't change it. And I try to change things, like I'll often substitute anything that requires breadcrumbs. I'll substitute ground large flake oats. I'm not, like, I'll eat wheat. I don't eat it very often. And I just try to avoid it, I guess, is my point. So now this is the stem of the kale. I'm just going to put that in there so it has time to cook, and I just drop a piece that I don't want to lose in my sink. Rinse it off quickly. So I'll totally eat wheat. It's just, I mean, when you have something like a large flake oat, or even steel cut oats that have so much great fiber in them, and I don't notice the difference. In fact, I like them more. For example, I made, for those of you who were here yesterday when we made chicken balls, or chicken meatballs. So these are the leftover chicken meatballs. I'll probably have these for lunch tomorrow. But these are the leftover chicken meatballs. In here, I added an egg and a whole bunch of like seasonings and stuff like that, but like onion and garlic. But I added an egg and some ground up large flake oats, and they're so good. Oh my god. And it also makes it more, gives it more volume, so your package of meat lasts longer, right? Like I maybe got these extra meatballs. Oh, and I sort of went crazy eating them. David was at work late, and I was getting hungry, so I just started popping them before dinner time. So normally I'd have more than this left over, but I sort of kind of went crazy. Let's see. James, thanks so much for the like and the retweet, James. Really appreciate it. Poke, thanks again for the like also. And Unique, you say you have holidays in Portugal. Oh yeah, did you like the food here? You know what, I'll come back to that in a second. Unique. And JK, I love salmon, me too. It's one of my favorites. And Little Homie, yes, the Jays are playing tonight in Toronto with New York Mets. My favorite teams are the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Mets, I'm on. Unique, thanks for the like. Yeah, so we were I'm trying to think of what city we were in Portugal. I can't believe Bilbao, is that a city in Portugal? No. I just remember, and we stayed at this really, really cool hostel, and it was the type of hostel that just gives hostels great names. Run by, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the #1 hostel or something. It was rated quite high, but it was so much fun. We went out with them, and we're 30 now, so we don't really like go clubbing and stuff like that. But I definitely like to dance, and I definitely used to like going clubbing. We just don't do it really anymore, but we went out because they had like a bar crawl and stuff like that. The hostel took us out and a whole bunch of people. We met some really fun people, so we had so much fun. So I didn't get to try any of the maybe traditional Portuguese food you need, but we went to San Sebastian, which is just in the north of Spain, right on the sort of close-ish to France. Really beautiful area in San Sebastian, and it has a very high population of, this little part of the leaf here is yellowing. I'm just going to take that off. That one little part. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting what, if anybody knows the name of the people that are in like the northern Spain area, they have lots of not tapas, my goodness, I'm just going to look it up because it's frustrating me. Can't remember the name. Anyways, they have the pinchos, like which is like tapas, and the name of the people are, and it's quite interesting history too. They prefer to be considered, as far as I understand, as unique from Spanish people. So these are coming along really nicely. Let me Google that and find out what the name is. It's driving me mental. Oh my goodness. Fat fingers. Catalan. Let's see. Unique, thanks for the like. Awen, gotta go. Lady Luck, Libby, bye. Awen, need to do some things before my queen comes over with dinner. You do that. You take care of your lady there, Awen. All the best to you and yours. Respect. And Awen, enjoy your roast chicken and veg tonight with your woman. Larry, hey Larry, how's it going? Thanks so much for the like and the retweet. Nice to see you here. Hot Sizzle, thanks for the like. Leanne, thanks for the retweet, Leanne. And Ale Fast, you wasting so much eater. You wasting so much eater. Am I wasting a lot of food? I don't know. I try not to. I try to use as much as I can. AFAS. Larry, Romany, no, not Romany, Catalan. But thanks, Larry, for trying to get it. And anyways, a lot of Catalan people there, and they have these pinchos, which are sort of like tapas. You go in, and it's like €2 or €1 for, little things. Are really, really delicious food. Unique. Bascos. I think you're saying is that the town. No, let me tell you the town we went into. Let me take this off the burner because I'm going to burn something. Because my brain is not working. Portugal. List of city in Portugal. I'm sure I'll recognize it once I see it. Alpha. Water. You're wasting so much. Eater. You're wasting so much water. Did I have this running? I have been known to do that, and it drives me crazy when I realize that I'm doing that, and I really don't like it. I'm trying to conserve water more. So if that's what you're calling me on, I appreciate it, because I am actually trying to reduce my water consumption. So if that's what you're saying, I appreciate it. DJ Marsky, thanks so much for the like and the retweet, DJ TJ Marski. And Emil, hey, how's it going? Hey again. Toronto Pizzeria. Thanks for the like, Toronto Pizzeria. Herb K, looks great. Thanks, Herb. I hope so. It's going to taste good. And thanks for the like, Herb. And Joe, thanks for the like. And Sam, pinches are like small portions of different foods. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what pinches are, Sam. Herb, thanks so much for the retweet. And Emil, what are you doing for working? Right now I'm a lawyer. I'm also working on a couple different projects. I'm also opening up a franchise of a healthy fast food restaurant. And I don't know if you have it wherever you are, but it's called Freshie. And I'm going to be opening that up in the fall. So I'm also sort of working on that. So I've got a couple things on the go. And Unique. Is this the name of the people in San Sebastian? It's not the only people in San Sebastian, but there are a high percentage of Catalan people in sort of that northern Spain, San Sebastian. Luis Kokomo, thanks so much for the like. Always appreciate your love. Let's see. Lisboa. Because I was asking, so I was in Portugal, and we say Lisbon in English. But in Portugal, they say Lisboa. And I think, and you can correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but in French they say Lisboa, and so David was saying it in French, but we wanted to know how to pronounce it as the Portuguese people would pronounce it, and they said Lisboa. So, anyways, Lisbon is where we were. And we were only there for one night. It was just sort of like a flight. We went to the running of the bulls, which I am super against, but David felt like it was something on his bucket list that he had to do, and I was not happy with it. I went to a bullfight. I didn't watch the bullfight. I read ebooks on my iPad during the bullfight, and I was just super not happy about that. But anyways, it was something on David's bucket list, and it was only the two of us there, so it's not like he could go with anyone else, so I went with him. Complaining the whole time. I don't normally complain when we do things. I'm normally pretty game. That I didn't like. Larry, is it in the U.S.? No, San Sebastian is in northern Spain, and Lisbon is in a city in Portugal. I think that's what you're asking, Larry. And Herb, what is your specialty in law? Right now, I'm a sole practitioner, so I'm doing a lot of family law, estates and wills, that type of thing. So it's sort of like the bread and butter of a sole practitioner. And Larry, will you open in the U.S.? Oh, sorry. There are quite a few Freshies in the U.S., and somebody was here recently from Florida. I'm just trying to remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name. But in Florida, there are a couple Freshie locations in Florida, as well as Texas, and lots in Chicago. Anyways, it's Freshie.com. They're really great. I love them. Great company. Unique. Lisbon is the capital of Portugal. Yes, Lisboa. Yeah, I know it's the capital. I don't know why I couldn't remember it. I'm sorry. Herb, going supports bullfighting. I agree with you, Herb. Like, you're preaching to the converted, and it was definitely something that there were a lot of tears and crying over. But it was something that David wanted to experience, and he didn't like it. He's also a huge animal lover. But you know, it was just one of those things that he just felt like things like this are disappearing. We may never get another opportunity to take that in, and it just meant a lot to him. So I supported him in that, even though I don't agree with it. But Herb, I'm with you. Larry, LOL. And Emil, did you answer my question? I was WC. You know what? I have been known to skip questions, Emil. Why don't you throw your question at me again? Oh, what are you doing for working? Oh, I said I'm a lawyer, Emil. And I'm also opening a healthy fast food restaurant franchise called Freshie. And I'm also working on a couple different projects right now. Hopefully a couple of them, or one of them at least, will come to fruition. So I've got my hands in a couple different pots. Be strong in your beliefs. Yeah, I know, Herb. Definitely. I feel that. Thanks for saying that, though. JK, went to Portugal too. Crossed the border when I was in Spain. Both countries are beautiful. I agree. I really, really like both countries. I'd love to go back to Lisbon. Supertrack, thanks for the like. And Unique, bullfight. Here we say corrida de toros. You know what, Unique? I actually found Portugal very difficult. Some people say that the syntax of Portuguese is almost identical to French. So if you speak French and you have a sufficiently large Portuguese vocabulary, it's quite easy to learn both. I just found the words very difficult in Portuguese, but I love listening to it. I think it's a nice language. And hey Herb, you have a great evening too. Thanks so much for stopping by and sharing your thoughts. My info, thanks for the like, and Unique, I'm against bullfights. I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, so we're gonna start here again. I'm gonna check on my tomatoes. So I just put a little bit of water and put this back over the heat. Put it back on medium. And then see how these tomatoes are doing. And they look like they're doing great. They're ready. Yummy. So here they are. Look at those beauties. So these tomatoes, I took a beef steak. Radium, are these beefsteak tomatoes? I couldn't remember the name of them. I think they're beefsteak tomatoes. I took one of those really nice beefsteak tomatoes. I sliced it in half, turned them on their ends, and just roasted them in an oven. I put a little bit of garlic infused olive oil on it, and then some pepper, some dried basil, I never know how to say it. I say it differently each time, I think, and some crumbled feta. So these are going to be really good. I'm just going to cover these in tin foil and keep them warm until we're ready to eat them. And now I'm going to put, so did we come to consensus on whether to put apple cider vinegar on this or not? I don't think anybody said. I'm going to put it on. So the reason why I'm saying that is, okay, take my vegetables off, my poor vegetables. Little homie, please let me know when your restaurant, I would love to come eat there. Awesome. It's going to be in Liberty Village if anybody is in Toronto. So please do come. Sam, catch you later. Awesome meeting you. Gotta go with the familia and watch Jurassic World. Oh, everybody's talking about Jurassic World. Have fun. Enjoy your Jurassic World. Let us know how it is, Sam. Where can I find your recipe? It looks amazing and sounds clean, and I'm all for that. You know, people keep asking me that, and I actually asked on Lattes with Lydia this morning how I could attach my recipes here. One of the problems is I don't often cook with a recipe. I just sort of, like, if you notice, I sort of just do things as I think about them in the kitchen. However, people have asked that, so I'm going to try and figure out a way to sort of remember what I'm putting in and link it up. Because I want to be able to share. You guys are here watching, I want to be able to share, too. So anyway, Sam, we'll connect later, and hopefully I'll figure out a way to get a recipe to you. Bran, looks delicious. I hope so, Bran. Emil, lawyer earned too much money, right? Huh. I don't know if it's ever enough, but yeah. I guess they sort of got it. They've got 7 years of school to pay off, right? Chukar, have you tried this recipe with halibut? Do you think it would work with that type of fish? I love halibut. I do. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to think if there's any flavor in here that would be too strong for the halibut, because whitefish are typically a little bit less, have a little bit less flavor than something like a salmon is a little bit more hearty. What I'm doing is I'm just moving the rack up to the pot because I'm going to switch my oven over now to broil, because I'm going to broil this fish. And broiling it versus putting it in the oven just means the heat's coming just from on top. I just like that. I find that it crisps the top nicely, especially if I already have a nice hot oven like I have right now. I just really like it. So I'm just putting it on broil. And then I'm going to put some of this apple cider vinegar, just brush it on. I'm just trying to think if there's anything in here that I wouldn't want on halibut. I don't think so. So on my salmon, I have a little bit of garlic infused olive oil. I'm now putting on a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I don't know if I put apple cider vinegar on halibut. I don't even know if I should be putting apple cider vinegar on salmon, to be quite honest with you. I've never done this. I just don't have any, I used the rest of my lemon yesterday, and I really like fish that taste nice and fresh. I put way too much on. Oh well. I hope it's good because I put a lot on. I put way more than I wanted to. So anyways, I hope that's good. So yeah, I don't know if I would, if this works out and if this is tasty, then yeah, sure, I would still put it on halibut too. Halibut's one of my favorite fish. I really like it. As far as whitefish goes, sable fish is also really good for white fish. Okay, so this is on broils, and I'm going to put this. So this has the garlic infused olive oil, a little bit of that apple cider vinegar. I put some salt, pepper, dill, dried dill, and a little bit of cayenne pepper on it to give it a little bit of a kick. I didn't put my rack in properly. It's a little bit crooked. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Okay. And then this, I'm going to actually put a timer on so I don't forget about it. I'm going to put the start with 10 minutes and then see how it goes from there. Maybe do 5-minute increments after that. Let's see. Sam, it's okay, but again, it's been awesome meeting you. Hope to catch up with you later and connect with you. Bye, Sam. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, Emil. I just meet, one's a lawyer, but she took all my money. Oh. I know. I know, like I don't know what to say, other than I absolutely know that lawyers get a bad rap, and I'm sorry. That must be really frustrating. So I'm taking, so in here for my sauteed vegetables, I cut up, and these are getting a little overcooked, but that's fine. I like my vegetables to be pretty cooked. So I took my Spanish onion and my little moons, my little zucchini moons, and I also took the stem from my kale and started to saute it. Now I'm going to put in these cubes, and these are homemade chicken broth. So I'm just going to, somebody reminded me that I had chicken broth. I think it was Emil, or no, not Emil. Awen. I think an Awen's gone now. But yeah, so one of you reminded me that I had these. So I'm just going to put those in now instead of some water. Give it a little bit of flavor. And I'm going to slice up my kale. And the kale you really only need to put in until it wilts. And in here, I'm also going to dice up some garlic. And there we go. I'm just going to put this on top. And garlic doesn't need to be cooked for too long. I like to cook my garlic just until it's fragrant. Really not too long at all. So, that. It's a little hot. Brandon, what is with vinegar overuse in effing all dishes? Why use vinegar so much? Well, Brandon, looks like you have some strong feelings about vinegar overuse. I'll get back to that in a second. Jimmy, thanks so much for the like. Ramon, thanks for the retweet and the like. Ramon Ortiz. Thuli, thanks for the like. And HV Guy, thanks so much for the like. And Chukar, thanks for the like. HV Guy. 91 people watching. Cool, guys. I see 95 here right now. That's so cool. You know what? And if I think about that, I'll probably get nervous. I mean, if I was up here cooking and in front of a room of 95 people, I guarantee you I would be nervous. I'm fairly comfortable speaking, but still I would be nervous. So I don't know. I'm just so happy that I'm able to connect and share I love cooking, so it's kind of fun to share my love of cooking. Let's see. Where's my garlic? Here it is. So I'm going to cut up maybe, I like a lot of garlic, so I'm going to cut up 3 cloves of garlic. Some people might only want to, that's just my oven telling me that it's preheated. Thank you, I know. I'm going to cut up 3 cloves. You know, I'd even put in 4. I'm going to stick with 3. Some people would only put in 1. I just happen to really like garlic. What city are you in? I'm in Toronto, Ontario in Canada. This is my mom. So I'm going to dice up some garlic. And then we're going to be done after this. So, I mean, I've drawn this out a long time again. I don't know how long I've been streaming for, but it's much longer. I sort of thought that I'd get on and do maybe like a 20-minute, half-hour stream max, just to sort of show what I was doing. But then I get talking. So, oh well, it's fun to talk. It cuts into my cleaning time, though. Sort of at the end of the evening right now is when I'll be cooking dinner and tidying up and doing whatever cleaning I want to do. But it just means I have to do the other cleaning like faster, which is fine. And get a bit of a workout in too. Why not? Okay. So I said this yesterday, so I don't want to repeat myself. But when I cut garlic, I always just cut the end off of it like that. Oh, my nails are different colors right now. It's for a reason. I'll tell you later. I cut the end off, and then to peel it, instead of individually peeling it, you just take the knife and then with the dull end like that, and it makes it come apart really nicely. Ooh, I can smell the chicken broth in here. It smells great. What a good idea, you guys. I'm going to keep my vegetables fairly simple today. I'm just going to put in a little bit. I've got some chili infused olive oil. I love using my fancy olive oils, if you haven't noticed. Let's see. Not Emil, not be sorry. She told me, oh sorry. She told you got my money. She did her job. Oh, I'm glad she did her job at least. Well earned double. Okay, good. I mean, Laura's a good person. I hope so. Paisano. Ciao, Libby. Ciao, Paisano. Thanks for being here. HV. Is rent cheaper, I think that probably says, in Canada? What about gas prices? Opposed to where? And I don't know if I'm the correct person to be making that assumption or those proclamations, because I've never rented anywhere else. I've rented in Paris, but it's in a different currency, and I don't quite remember exactly what I paid. Brandon, well, everything you said you are going to tell later. Do you remember all that? Oh yeah, your strong feelings about vinegar. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I'll say that just after like 2 more comments. Fortis Health, great job, Libby. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. Peter, what's your favorite olive oil? Peter, I'll say that right after I get to Brandon's because I forgot about him. So Brandon, first of all, can you tell me what your hate for vinegar is? I absolutely love vinegar. I eat a lot of it, and I love putting it on salads. I just think it adds such a nice fresh flavor. Now, I used too much on that dish. I didn't mean to. It's just I over-poured as I was putting it on, especially because I've never put vinegar on a fish before. Actually, I guess I would have put vinegar on fried fish, like when you get fish and chips. So I guess I have had vinegar on fish, and I really like that. It's normally like white or like a malt vinegar that you put on fish. But apple cider vinegar has similar properties to like a malt vinegar, for example. So maybe it's not going to turn out so bad. So I just, you know what, I was looking at the salmon, and I've definitely cooked salmon without lemon before, tons of times. But I don't know, as I was looking at it, I was like, I sort of wish that I had lemon for this, because I want to freshen this dish up a little bit. And then I was like, what's a good alternative for lemon? And I was just thinking vinegar might be. So anyways, that's why I tried it. I don't know, Brandon, do you think that vinegar is overused too much? Tell us about that. Now I've just diced my garlic up. I'm just going to add it here. And then, to your comment, HV, oops, I'm sorry. Peter, and Brandon, I see you have some things about vinegar, which I think are going to make me laugh. But to your comment, Peter, I watched like an expose on what happens with olive oil at the supermarket and how you can have inexpensive olive oils be mislabeled and actually it's really not olive oil and you have to be careful, blah, blah, blah. So I have been a little bit more aware of the olive oil that I buy. right now, this is what I have. I'll show you. And just because it was given to me. So what happened is one of our friends recently moved, and they were moving quite far away, and they didn't want to take a lot of their stuff with them, like especially the heavier liquids. So I got these really nice olive oils. This is just what they had, so this is now what I have. It's good. It's fine. I don't really notice a difference in olive oil, so prior to watching that expose, I probably would have just bought whatever. But this is, so these are some of the fun olive oils that I was given. This is actually really hot, and it tastes so good. So this EEVO brand makes very, very, very tasty olive oil. I would never buy this. This is probably way outside of what my grocery budget would say I can do. But because it was given to me, I get to use it. So I feel a little bit spoiled right now because of that. So this is my salmon. I'm just going to check on my salmon, see how it's doing. So this was 10 minutes broiling. When I check my meat, I just sort of touch it. My hands are always clean when I'm cooking. And if it gives a little bit, depends on how much you want your salmon done. If there's almost no give, that means it's quite cooked all the way through. David likes this quite cooked. I like mine more on the rare side. This is pretty good. This is still a little bit soft. I am going to leave it out of the oven now, though. Thank you. Oh my god, it tastes good. The dill and the cayenne in that taste delicious together. I'm going to leave it out now and just cover it up with some olive, with of this tin foil. Just because I want it to be warm for when David comes home. And he's not going to be home for a while still. So I'm just going to leave it out. Anyway, sorry, what I'm going to do is when I get a text message from him saying he's going to leave, I'll just sort of put the oven on and just heat it up a little bit again. And now here, so what we've been doing with this, Brandon, I want to see what you said about vinegar. Let's see. HV, gas prices here in my area are almost $3. How much are they where you are? Now, are you talking liters or gallons? Because if you're in the States, you're going to be talking gallons. Here we measure in liters, and I believe it was $1.19 here the other day. I think it was like $1.18 actually, so when I filled up. So it's $1.18 a liter, which is down quite a bit. Obviously, we had a large gas or oil correction recently. Brandon, I don't hate, but I don't like its taste. Oh, okay. It's vinegar. Ha 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 ha. HV guy, I don't get that. Vinegar. 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 I don't know. Oh. Am I saying it wrong? But you don't like its taste. Some people don't. I guess it's just preference, right? Like, I love cilantro. David hates cilantro. I've been talking about cilantro a lot. But it's just one of those things. I love it and David doesn't. And Brandon says, but I always notice it all North American and Italian dishes. Oh yeah, especially like Italians put it out for dipping bread and stuff like that, like a nice balsamic. See, I like it, so I refer to it as a nice balsamic vinegar. Brandon, vinegar is overused. Brandon, I love your strong feelings towards vinegar. That's so funny. So this is actually quite spicy. I'm going to put a little bit of this in, and then I'm just going to turn it off. I don't like to overheat my olive oil, so I wouldn't put it, like I wouldn't fry something in olive oil, for example. And here, oops, I put just a little bit too much. It always happens with me. Anyways, I wanted to put about 1.5 teaspoons. I put about 2 teaspoons in, which is just enough to coat it. So what we did with this is instead of sauteing my vegetables, in here I have Spanish onion, zucchini, and kale, and I use the stems of the kale as well. Instead of sauteing in olive oil, I sauteed in like a water for the most part, and then I remembered I had some homemade chicken stock cubes that, for those of you who were here with me on Monday, we made on Monday. I put those in. Oh, it smells great. It smells really, really good. With some garlic and that spicy olive oil, oh, it's going to be great. So I'm just going to turn this off, and this is done. So dinner is done. Let's see. Fortis Health. We need to support the ladies adding value without resorting to derobing. I mean, for each their own, but I'm glad that you think you find value here, Fortis Health. That really actually makes me happy. I love cooking and I really enjoy sharing it with people. So I'm glad that you're here and that you get something out of it. Hashtag, wow, this chick has nice legs. Oh, okay, thanks HB guy. Brand W, she very pretty. Oh, I thank you. I'm here. You don't have to talk about me in the third person. HV guy, this. And then Beaner, thanks for the like. Fishing for Bass, thanks for the retweet. I like your handle also. Fishing for Bass, thanks for the like. Oh my god, HV guy. Vinegar, LOL. I call it Vinegar. Okay, that's awesome. I'll call it Vinegar from now on too. We use some apple cider vinegar on the salmon today. I'll let you know how it tastes later. Yeah, over Fortis Health. Yeah, overheating olive oil creates toxic properties. Thank you. I know. So Fortis Health, I actually don't know enough about that to talk about it. I started to allude to that the other day when I was cooking. What was I cooking? I can't remember, but I was saying how I've read somewhere that overheating olive oil actually takes away the beneficial properties in it, but I couldn't really go beyond that, and I said, I don't know, I just read that somewhere. But I have read that, and that's exactly why I don't overheat my olive oil, which is why I like to cook in water. Also, because when I'm sauteing vegetables, I find that I'll put a little bit of olive oil in the start, and then I have to add more as I'm cooking, and then more. And then by the time I'm done, I've added actually quite a bit of olive oil to a dish, like vegetables, that should be pretty basic and not very calorie dense, right? Like that should be the dish that you can eat as much as you want of, and sort of without worrying about what you're eating. So I like to keep my veggies as healthy as possible, so that's why I add the olive oil at the end. I like that Vinegar. And Sam, it looks like it would taste great. I'll let you know later. I have been posting my pictures on Twitter. I don't really have, like, up until I discovered Meerkat, haven't really had a very large social media presence. I mean, it just hasn't really been my thing. Now, I obviously found something that I really like in Meerkat, so I like interacting with everybody, and I like sort of sharing the things that I enjoy doing. My kitchen looks like a mess from this perspective. I'm just looking in the mirror, in the camera there. So I don't really have like that much on Twitter and Instagram, but I do really enjoy posting pictures of this type of stuff on Twitter and Instagram. So my handle on both of those is the same as it is here. So it's Libby_J_Kennedy. If you follow me, I'd be happy to follow you back and keep in contact. I've met quite a lot of people on Meerkat that I now follow on Instagram and Twitter. So, and if for some reason you follow me and I don't follow you back, just send me like a little nudge and be like, hey Libby, don't forget about me. Because I mean, sometimes it's not on purpose. It's just don't really, it's just one of those things that you're, it might just slip through the cracks, right? So I do want to follow people who follow me though. So just poke me and say, let me know. Sam, thanks for the like. HB guy request. Can we see that rock on your finger? I like the track lighting on the ceiling. HB guy, you're killing me with your Vinegar, and you're like two totally different thoughts in the same paragraph. One, that track light, I really like it too, except I thought one of the lights were burnt out. Oh, you know what? You're picking up the one in the living room. The one right in the kitchen here, I have a burnt out bulb in there, and it's been driving me crazy. I just don't like those things that I know need to be done, and I haven't done them. I haven't done it for like a month and a half. It's been burnt out for a month and a half. So I need to change that. I need to buy a bulb to begin with, and then change it. So that's been driving me crazy. And yes, David and I recently got engaged. So yes, you can absolutely see that. I really love my ring. It's my favorite. It's got little designs underneath. We got engaged in Paris. We used to live in Paris, so it's a city that means a lot to us. And it was very romantic. He really, really went over and above to make it special for me, so I appreciated that so much. James, thanks for the like. And Martha Blacker, thanks so much for the like. Kane Smosh-chan. I feel like I really butchered your handle. I'm sorry. If you tell me your name, I will stop butchering your handle. Thanks for the retweet. Kane And thanks for the like too, Kane. Emil, Martha Black, at Martha Blackler. Hi, smiley face, says Emil. And Mario Faccini, thanks for the like. And Lesan Deep, thanks so much for the like. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm going to wrap it up because I don't really have anything else to say. And so today, just to sort of recap, we made these wonderful sauteed vegetables. This is Spanish onion, one whole Spanish onion, chopped up with these beautiful little half moons of zucchini sauteed with the stem, that's the stem of kale, as well as the leaves of kale, and some diced garlic in there, as well as this really wonderful fancy olive oil I was given. It's chili, EEVO chili, which I absolutely love. Really yummy. We also made some roast beef steak tomatoes. This is just, actually this is only one tomato. David and I'll have a half of a tomato each. And so I took this, I drizzled a little bit of this other fancy olive oil, garlic infused, EEVO again, also given to me. Present on the tomato. I then put a little bit of cracked black pepper as well as some dried basil. And then I put some feta cheese. If I wasn't going to put the feta cheese, I'd put a little bit of salt on as well. But the feta is sort of salty to begin with, so I ditched the salt for that. And then, lastly, we made this really nice broiled salmon. And the salmon was made with a little bit of that EEVO fancy garlic infused olive oil. And I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar on this. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's going to be good or not. I just didn't have any lemon left, and I wanted something to sort of brighten up the flavors. So I put those two things, and I also put some dried dill and some cracked black pepper, some salt, and some cayenne pepper. I think it's going to be good. It smells good. So now, we are done. I'll post pictures on Twitter if anybody wants to follow me. Please do. I'll follow you back. Mesna, so you like, thanks for the like. HV I paid almost $500 for rent where I live. How much is rent where you are? Like your house or apartment? Well, a lot more than $500. Whereabouts are you? I would love to pay $500. Rent in Toronto, it's tough to get anything for less than $1,700 in the city if you're looking for a one-bedroom apartment. So, we pay less than that because I am a bargain hunter and I love a good deal. But yeah, so $1,700 I think is probably the going rate for a one-bedroom in Toronto. And we've moved a lot, so I do know this. I can't say comparatively, but I do know sort of the rental market in Toronto. Denise, thanks so much for the retweet. Ace Train, thanks for the retweet as well. Really appreciate the retweets, you guys, and the likes. Ace Train, also thank you for the like. Ace Train, hey Libby, first time on your stream. Hey Ace Train, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So cool to meet new people. And Maruchij, thanks for the retweet, Maruchij. And HV hey everyone, let's all go to her place for hashtag dinner. Come on in, guys, all 126 of you. Squeeze into my one-bedroom apartment.